A lot of gardeners think that variety and adding lots of different plants is what's going to make their garden interesting, but sometimes too much variety is the reason why your garden is feeling chaotic instead of cohesive. So today I want to talk about why fewer plant varieties can actually make a bigger impact in your garden. My name is Amy, and over at Pretty Purple Door, I help home gardeners design landscapes that are uniquely you. So what often happens when you have too many species or too many different types of plants is the garden will feel like a lot of visual noise. This is what happens a lot when we go plant shopping and we buy one or two. I call this the onesie twosies. You're buying one or two of each plant. And I fall into this trap still because I just love plants. So I'm not trying to call anyone out here. This is just what happens. When you do this and you're picking these plants and you're like, this plant is so beautiful, I can't wait to put this in my garden, and you keep doing that, what happens is that every plant in your garden is trying to feel super special. And when everything is the most special plant that you have, nothing really stands out. So when everything is trying to be special, there's not enough repetition in your space for the real special things to stand out and really look good on their own. What happens from this is that your eye just has no idea what to focus on, and then nothing becomes special. It's just a bunch of plants that are everywhere, and nothing really feels like it was meant to be there. Unfortunately, a lot of times people mistake this happening as being creative in their garden, and they don't want to not be creative, and my garden's really creative because of all these different plants. But this actually is kind of the opposite of creativity, because in my mind, creativity takes a lot of control and a lot of thought that goes ahead of time. So that's why I'm always focusing on planning ahead of time, even just a little bit of a sketch and a little bit of an idea of what you're doing and what the end goal is and what your vision is for the space is so important. So basically design works, garden design works when your plants have jobs. Not just names, not just all different plants, but they each have a job. So you have to assign jobs to the different plants in your landscape and then make sure that you have every job fulfilled. So just think about if you were in an office and you just had a bunch of secretaries. So you buy all of these plants and they're the secretaries of your office. So great, you have that covered when you go to reception or when you need something filed, everything is great. But who's actually managing those secretaries? Who's doing the sales to get clients to come in? Who's running the entire place? Who's cleaning up when everybody goes home? Like, what about all those other roles that are fulfilled to make a complete office or a complete business work? And if you think about your garden like that, where every plant has a job instead of it just being a bunch of plants that you really love, it's like we have to assign roles to them, and that makes it so much easier to work with. So when you have variety without roles or jobs for your plants, everything just feels unbalanced, or it's too heavy over here, it's too loose over here, it's too bare over here, but it's too thick over here. And we get this mix where we're trying to mix all these different things, but we don't really know what the roles of those plants are. So it just becomes really chaotic really quickly. Then we have all of these plants, everything is special, we don't want to remove anything, we don't know what to do, and it just gets really stressful. So assigning jobs or assigning roles to your plants can really help with this. The other thing I want to talk about is that there is a balance. There's a balance between having too few plants and too many plants. When you hit that sweet spot in between, that's when you have that balance. So fewer varieties create that repetition and that rhythm that we need. But we also have to have those plants that stand out too. So we need a good mix. It's not just like plant one plant and plant 30 of them and that's your garden, because that's going to cause a lot of problems. Again, remember the secretary analogy where you just have a bunch of secretaries. You need all of the different types of plants to work together and fulfill their different roles in your garden. And when you do this, and when you think about the different roles and you combine the plants together in a plan ahead of time, you are really creating that structure for your garden so that your garden reads as one idea instead of a bunch of little ideas just stuck here and there. Having too much sameness, too much repetition of the same plant can read a little boring. So like I said, you need that mix. And then there's also disease issues that you might want to think about if you are planting a row of shrubs or a row of something or just a big grouping of plants. Just know that if you do have a disease issue that comes into play, a lot of times these aren't even a thing when you might plant that plant. It might be fine and nobody has disease issues, but years down the road, something might happen, some kind of bug or some kind of disease swipes through and wipes out all your plants. This has happened in the past with boxwood blight. A lot of people have problems like this with arborvitae, where you plant a whole row and then suddenly they all start to die. So that's called monocultural block planting, and that can be really dangerous too. So again, we need that mix. Too many species, super messy, not enough species. You run the risk of disease and just it being a little bit boring or a little bit flat. The goal is to have a balance here and not go to one extreme or the other. So remember that good garden design is not about how many plants you have. It's about getting the right mix of plants to fit all of the jobs and the roles in your space. If this idea of having plant roles and jobs is new to you, I do have a free guide. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below. It's called Master the Mixed Border. It kind of explains this and all of the different types of plants that I would use in a layered landscape and how to sort of arrange them to make them look good, how many of each approximately you would need to get this type of look. So that's a great place to start. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description below, and I'll see you over in the next video.